This recipe is a chunky chili con carne, but instead of using beef mince, we're going to go for stewing beef. And rather than rice, we're going to go for some awesome smashed roots. So this is sweet and spicy on the same plate. To get our chili con carne underway, we need to peel and dice an onion, some garlic and a chilli.
Do you want me to help or?
You just stay there and look good.
How's he going to do that?
Mike, how are you?
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Same way as always. So take your onion. What you need to do is cut away from the root. So take the knife and cut all the way about 3/4 of the way in, so it all holds together, and then turn it. Cut the other way, and you'll end up with a nice fine dice.
Mike,
What?
did you listen to a word Benji said?
I'm doing it.
No, he's not.
Look, you cut up until
I
that
did.
point there.
Look, it's all going to look the same, just like mashed up little squares, isn't it?
Also here, our chilli, seeds and all, so we've got a nice bit of heat, and it's always worth trying it, so that you know how much to put in. Try it raw, if it blows your head off, put less in. And I'm going to do exactly the same with our clove of garlic.
I broke the tap. Sorry, Jamie.
Well, while you're fixing that, over this side, a glug of olive oil, and we'll add into that all of our onions, garlic, and chilli.
Oh, and this one as well.
Good.
Can I help you?
Yes, right, beef. So rather than your average chilli, often being done with minced beef,
Yep.
we're going to use some awesome stewing steak. So this is nice casserole steak, and we're going to cover it with ground cumin, plenty of salt and pepper. And if you kind of mix that all together, then it's going to go into the pan with our sweated onions, garlic and chilli to cook off for a couple of minutes. Now let me show you the other flavours we're going to put into this. Tomato, a tin of chopped tomatoes, red wine, which is a really rich kind of sauce, a stick of cinnamon and some beef stock, which we're going to cheat with just half a stock cube. They can all go splashed into there now.
Oh, really?
And about half a tin's worth just of water. And that will balance out the stock cube, so essentially you're adding in beef stock. Rather than serve this with rice, we're going to go for smashed roots. So take 2 parsnips, a carrot, a swede and 2 turnips, peel them all up and cut them into thumb-sized chunks, put them into cold, salted water and bring them up to boil so that they'll simmer for about 20 minutes just ahead of serving. That's it, why don't you just get your jumper right the way in
It's
there.
right.
What a mess. No, not that one.
It's alright, I'll pick them out, it's fine.
Oh,
Ben, it's okay, these things you say. Look, cooking is just a guideline, okay?
I've heard Jamie's coming to taste this later on, and if he's not happy, I'm going to blame it on you.
Jamie likes my cooking, it's fine.
Just before we serve, we can take all of our roots and drain them into a colander. And then Baz, you're in charge of smashing up these. All we're going to add to it is 1 knob of butter, and Mike, some salt and pepper. After 2.5 hours, that beef has cooked right down. We've added in our red kidney beans and red pepper at the last minute, and that is about good to serve, as is our smashed roots. So let's get loads of this onto the plate. Remember, this is instead of rice, and there's bits of smooth puree in here, there's good chunks as well, a bit of everything. Some of this awesome chilli, and then a few dollops of sour cream. Really helps to cut through the spice. We're going to add a bit more spice in the form of red chilli. There we go, a few finishing touches. And I think the only thing left to do is taste it. Tell us what you think, because I know you're a big chilli fan.
Okay, so we've got like potato and carrot.
Smashed roots, so low carb, chili con carne, stewed for ages, chunky bits of beef,
I love
none of
the
this
way you've done
mincemeat.
chili con carne with chunks of meat that are going to fall apart instead of just the mincemeat.
Oh,
Very, very delicious.
Mike,
Nice.
isn't this a bit weird for you?
why?
In Jamie Oliver's kitchen, eating with Jamie Oliver. Even with a Jamie Oliver spoon. Have you took one in your
But-
pocket?
Souvenirs, souvenirs.
I've got customers in my restaurant stealing napkins, 30,000 a month. Napkins we use. And now you're nicking the spoons. What have you got in your pockets?
No, I'm just a tea-town, that's mine, I brought that with me.
So, how do you think Ben's done?
He's a good lad, Ben. Look, I mean, just look at him. He's trustworthy. If he was selling mortgages, you'd want to buy it. And no, it's really tasty. I tell you what, it's really easy to get the level of spice wrong. Also, how long did you cook that for?
That was about 2.5 hours.
Because like 2.5 hours, you've still got tender chunks. But actually, if you did it another half an hour, you could just keep stirring it until it went into like a chili mush, couldn't you? Which
Almost back to mince, I suppose.
Yeah, that's very good. Where can you get the recipe?
This recipe you can get on sortedfood.com.
And if you really want to, you can subscribe to Jamie Oliver's Food Tube channel by just clicking on his little mush.
Here, right here.
Just there. Go on.
Slap it, click it, push it, in the mouth, in the eyes, whatever you like.
Whoa!